Good evening, everybody. Oh my God, I'm a screen of Kaldheim draft commons. Oh, Prez, bring us in until I come in.
Hello, I am Prez BTW, and welcome to the MTG Paper Legacy Fight Night. This is our Tuesday night event where we stream 3 rounds of Paper Legacy. It's a fantastic time, and yeah, I'm normally joined by a co-commentator, but right now apparently I'm joined by a bunch of draft cards. So
Yeah, I am green draft commons today. Hello, everybody.
yeah,
I
yeah,
am
that is a good point. Greater Good is not a draft common; it's a very good card.
good. Yeah, it is a very good card. I have no idea what that's like another green commander staple. Now I'm a dude with a Oh, here we go, everybody.
There we are, perfect.
Hey, hi, everybody.
There we go.
Hello, everybody. Hey, welcome to another Tuesday night fight night. I'm Doc. Hello, everybody. This is this is the most exciting time in Legacy right now. For those unaware,
West.
oh my God, the biggest BNR announcement finally hit. Like I was there. I had just walked my dog. I had gotten in. I saw the draft announcement hit the main channel, and it was woo! Like everybody hopped into the VC. We had full VCs full of people just celebrating. People were tearing their astrolabes. It was the wildest time because we had the biggest BNR announcement in Legacy history. And honestly, this is great to see. The entire format is shaken up. Everything is crazy, and it's a great night of Legacy. I'm so happy to be here.
Yeah, I am super excited to see what's going to happen to the format here going forward, especially with the way things have been and the way the legacy meta has basically shaped itself over the past, ever since basically Throne of Eldraine was printed. Ever since Throne of Eldraine, the way that the legacy meta has shaped up, we've basically been playing with. So now it's really exciting to see what's going to happen with the addition of all the new cards from like Ikoria and all these other new sets and Kaldheim and stuff like that, without being overshadowed by the powerhouses of Dreadhorde Arcanist, Arcum's Astrolabe, and Oko Thief of Crowns.
Yeah, so this is a really, really big moment because I mean, so many strategies are now open again, and honestly, it's so great to see like how much things have like really just completely shaken up. So I mean, completely. Let's look at what was banned. Arcum's Astrolabe, that was one of the biggest cornerstones of these 4 and 5 color piles that were mid-range, just slugfests that have been pretty much just dominating a lot of the online meta. We didn't see as much here because of the fact that people just don't want to play that. It just wasn't as fun, but we did see a very large amount of it just because of the fact that like it's a thing that people can play. And honestly, I do see where people say that it was a budget consideration where our Astrolabe could fix the mana without the duels. At that point, and like you're sacrificing budget for the sanctity of a format and like the health of a format.
I agree.
And like that's an argument for like Wizards. Like the reserve list sucks. We get it. It's just one of those things that we're gonna have to live with for right now.
Yeah, and that's just it. Is at the end of the day, us as players, we can't do anything about it. So all we can really do is just kind of take with what we're given. And I'm super excited to see where this goes now that mana denial and stuff like that is.
Yeah. Oh my God, Wasteland is so much better now because of the fact that you actually have to leverage losing these lands and losing these color combinations. So it's really important that like I think Astrolabe being gone really brought back that like strong pillar of the format because yes, there can be non-games where you get that color source wasted and then you don't play around it appropriately. It can happen, but it's one of those things that it's a learning point and it's a part of the format that happens.
Yeah.
Like playing against Dredge, which honestly I think it's really better with the format going like this.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be interesting here. And, Daniel TCG's been on this deck for a very long time. Oh, it looks like he's therapying himself to hit the Golgari Thug into the yard. He's
Yeah.
5, by the way.
Yeah, so it's one of the things that this is not like the worst start for Dredge, but I mean, having a dredger into the yard is everything plus an LED. And honestly, seeing a bridge from below off that dredge was one of the better hits, especially since you know, one of the things that is back, in my opinion, is NivFit because NivFit's strength is landing fat fatties that no one has an answer for outside of like maybe Swords to Plowshares, assuming it's not like a Thrun the Last Troll. And it's one of those things that Oko really invalidated a lot of that deck because of the fact that like you can't just throw these big fatties on the field anymore.
Yeah.
So seeing in Nickfit here is like awesome to see, but it has a very bad game one matchup because one of the strengths of Nickfit is leveraging that Cabal therapy.
Yeah, for sure. And not only that, specifically, Champagne's on the Niv to Light version of the deck. So he's got all the 5 color spells and everything. I actually don't even know. Is
This is a
there are Cabal
wild
therapies?
list.
Oh, and Veteran Explorers. Yeah, so this is a
Yeah,
Nick Fit deck at heart for
this
sure.
is no. This is a Nick Fit deck.
Yeah,
This is when
absolutely.
people like laugh and say, "Oh, it's playable in Nick Fit." This is what they mean.
Yes,
And
exactly.
uh, I mean, it's 5 colors
Super
worth of
spicy deck.
spells using Bring to Light, praying to God that your opponent doesn't have a Force of Will, and you can resolve it, and then slamming a of Mizzet Reborn and getting it, or casting a Valky off of a Bring to Light because you can't cascade into it anymore, but you can still bring to light into it. Which I mean, a 5 mana Valky versus a what's it called versus a like 7 mana Valky is like eh.
Yeah, exactly.
That being said, I mean Daniel doesn't care. Daniel's just gonna throw just
Dredge,
tons
dredge, dredge.
and dredge and dredge again
Yeah,
because that's what dredge does. And honestly,
exactly.
I do think Nick Fit, not Nick Fit, Dredge also gets a little bit better with the banning because of the fact that like I really do think Dreadhorde Arcanist was such a problem for what's it called for Dredge. Their Dreadhorde Arcanist is just so good. It's just the only threat that they have to protect. That and a Relic Progenitus and game over.
Oh, exactly. And that's just it too, because when you talk about the power level of the bands, I don't think any of these cards specifically in a vacuum were too objectively powerful for the format.
Yeah.
I just think that it's just miserable to play against, and it was their time to go. And that's basically what Wizards of the Coast ended up saying as well.
Yeah, exactly. And so this is what we're seeing here with Champagne. Remember what I was saying? Like this is the reason why this game one matchup is so terrible because your 4 Cabal therapies don't do anything in this matchup. A lot of times, the Dredge player is empty handed by turn one, and the Cabal therapy is the most important part of the Nick Fit game plan.
Yeah,
Leveraging that power and that ability to cast to disrupt the hand and hit 2 to 3 cards off of it is so impactful. And now we're back to a format where that actually matters.
yeah,
Yeah, Cliffy, I agree. Dreadhorde and Surgical was killer. It was very hard for a lot of decks to deal with.
yeah,
And yeah, importantly here, Daniel is supposed to exile those bridges. Yeah, and
yeah,
we're catching it right now.
yeah. Yeah, I did mention that to our spotter there. So that is one relevant thing that happened there. So that way there's no Icarus shenanigans going on right now.
Oh yeah, definitely. And that definitely does help. Honestly, even let's see, are we on a Hogak build? Yep, one Hogak. That also really helps with keeping Hogak under relative control
Yeah.
because it's important because his Narcomoebas can't actually
They
use
cannot
them to
cast
convoke.
a Hogak.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, they can pay
So
for one of the colorless, but they cannot pay for the 2 colored sources.
yeah, exactly. And this is exactly what I'm talking about, where like the mana is no longer you can't leverage it as efficiently. Hey, what's it called? The Cabal therapy as efficiently. But now Champagne's here at 4 mana, and this is where NivFit really does like to be, either slamming a very powerful 4 or 5 mana threat, or at least using something like Green Sun Zenith or some other type of like disruptive effect like a Leovold,
Yeah.
or just slamming a fatty like Uro.
Yep. Which Uro did survive the ban. Of the 4 cards that were, like, more than likely or most likely on the chopping block, Uro was definitely one of them. Uro survived the ban.
And I think that was the safer of the choices. Uro has
I
had the least amount of time to just be on its own, because we went through a period in Legacy that was very egregious in its play patterns. We went through the Ren and Six era, and right as soon as we were getting out of the Ren and Six era, we went straight into the time of Veil, Field of the Dead, and Oko. As
yeah.
soon as Oko hit, it just went downhill. And Uro was just the cherry on top of a broken pile of cards. And so because of that, that's the reason why we got to this point. And so I think leaving Uro in there to just be the safest is like not a bad place to be.
Yeah. Another thing of note as well, and something that some of our other mods have brought up before, like, it's really nice to see them as well actually, um well, in not so much in the case of the other cards, but in the case of Astrolabe versus Uro, it's nice to see them ban the enabler instead of the payoff for once.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. I agree with that. That's exactly why this band was so good. The word egregious is egregious. Exactly.
Yeah,
Hey, Lady Vito, it's good to see you here. Thanks for coming on out and supporting us.
yeah. So
But
of note here though, that Baleful Strix is actually, that's another thing too. Baleful Strix has got his time to shine again.
oh, Balestrix is back, baby. No more sneaky snow snake. No more sneaky snow snake. It's all about the Strix. Owl's
Yes.
back, and I'm super excited. I love that card. It's one of my favorite cards, my NivFit board. It's really, really great. And that is a pile of dredge cards. That's massive graveyard. But importantly, once again, no more bridges. As well, at least two of the bridges are gone. We've only hit one Icarid so far, only one Narcomoeba, and these draws have been like pretty anemic.
Yeah.
But once again, there's not been any sort of like faithless looting or anything like that to like really speed it up from the yard. Also, Daniel is working off of 1 mana, so this is what I was talking about. Like Wasteland's value goes up now.
Yeah. I've actually had that happen when I've been playing Dredge before, where I have a hand that can just start blisteringly fast and it can go off on turn one. And then because you're not drawing cards anymore, you just don't get any more mana.
Yeah, exactly. So you got to be really careful and pick your battles when it comes to this sort of stuff. And I understand the importance of it. Oh, yeah, triple Icarid's going to be pretty decent though. But that's the thing. There's lots of chump blockers on Champagne's side, but unfortunately, just like no raw draw engine yet, at least
Yeah.
until the Euro comes back.
Ooh. So we did hit a third bridge there, and we also see the Ashen Rider too.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Uh, so
I
that's
am a huge fan of having something really busted to Dread return game one.
yeah, I agree. We do have the single dread return, and it is in the yard if I remember correctly. I think I remember seeing it.
Yeah, I know when I've played Dredge, I've always taken a page from Vintage where I actually like Flamekin Zealot a lot,
Yeah.
just because that there are the times where you get those super explosive Dredge hands, and then you get 3 bridges in the yard, you make 12 zombies in a turn, and you just go, okay, cool. Animate the Flamekin Zealot, kill you the same turn they come in.
Yep. Yep. I completely agree. Flanking Mazzella is like one of those traditional, just like really good, really easy finishers that I always respected.
Yeah.
So
I
that
know
being
it's
said,
not very popular in Legacy because it's more of you want to grind a little bit more, but I just like the explosiveness of it personally.
yeah, understandable. But also you have to remember, in Legacy, Karn is more prolific because you can play it as a four of.
Yeah.
So the Ashen Rider does play around that, and then what's it called? Bridge out, a
Yeah.
Staring Bridge,
We're
And
gonna
Force of
see.
Will Strix.
Yeah. So I don't know what we actually named on the first therapy. Triggering the bridges though, and then the second therapy
Yeah.
named Baleful Strict, which I 100% get behind.
Yeah, definitely, especially since leaving empty-handed with a Force of Will in hand is never bad. I'm honestly surprised that Champagne had chose to play Force of Will in the deck because traditionally NivFit doesn't really play Force of Will because
Yeah,
of the fact that the blue requirement's just too much.
in this particular build of the deck though, there is actually quite a decent amount of blue cards.
Yeah, I
We're
definitely noticed that.
cascading, we're cascading into a drown in the lock, and he's actually hitting his own veteran explorer there. I like that a lot.
Yeah, I agree.
Super cool. Not only
I
that, does
agree.
it exiles the bridge for one, and for
Hmm.
two, it also ramps Champagne.
Yeah, I
Champagne has
agree.
9 lands in play right now.
Yeah, this is this. Well, to be fair, if any deck can really do that, it's definitely Nick Fit.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. Uh, really interesting here though is like the speed that has been happening here has been pretty slow off of the dredge start. So it's crazy because giving Nick Fit the time for the late game is very much like exactly what Nick Fit wants. And
Yeah,
I really think that if those bridges weren't initially exiled, like I honestly think Daniel could have taken this, but honestly seeing this great gameplay go for Champagne decks is pretty great to see.
yeah,
Hey, especially since there are some like main board answers like sweepers and stuff like that, but man,
yeah. On another note, though, Daniel's running out of gas here. It looks like because he just had to exile an Icarid to an Icarid. However, on this last bridge, he did hit the Hogak though.
yeah, yeah, definitely. So this Hogak is big, hey, and very much the beater that Daniel needed. Uh, Either hitting like the Dread Return or the what's it called, or the Hogak was exactly where you wanted it to be.
Yeah. So as long as Champagne has an island untapped, though, he can just hard cast this Force of Will.
Yeah, exactly. And I think,
Yeah, that's exactly what
yep,
he's doing.
yep, hard
Hard
casting
casting the
force.
Force.
5 mana force is still a 5 mana force.
Exactly. And so he's gonna actually try and recast Hogak again.
Understandable at this point. You need to resolve the beater.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
I, I respect that though, because like right now you need this Hogak in play for sure.
yeah,
I don't
exactly.
know how many cards Daniel has left in his library, but I'm assuming it's not a whole ton left. And if Champagne gets a good removal spell here, I don't know exactly what his options are. So
Yeah, exactly. I agree with you. It's definitely one of those things that the Hogak just goes over everything. And yes, the Strix will essentially trade with it, but for 7 life as well.
yeah,
Now there is some of the fact that like there is an Uro that can be brought back. Exactly what we're seeing right here.
yep,
And it's one of those things that the Uro does essentially negate a 3 damage that's being dealt every single turn by the what's it called
the
uh, by
Hogak.
the by the Hogak,
Well,
but
that
like
being said, though, if he blocks with because if Champagne doesn't have bridges, he's going to run it. Or sorry, if Daniel doesn't have bridges, he's gonna run out of zombies in order to cast this eventually.
yeah, exactly. Interestingly though, I really do think that Valky, God of Lies, also known as Tybalt the Trickster, that ultimate literally ends the game. Oh, we got a term or vindicate for
I
the
love
Hogak.
that. I love that so much. That vindicates so good.
Oh yeah, that was good tech. That was good hit there.
Very good hit. Earl
God,
being generous.
the fact that this is running Kaya's Guile. Oh my god, I just realized Kaya's
Iron
Guile.
Guile has an exile target opponent's graveyard mode on it,
One
which is
black and a
amazing.
white. Choose to each opponent sacrifices a creature, exile all cards from each opponent's graveyard, create a 1/1 white black spirit creature token with flying, or you gain 4 life or entwine 3. Choose all if you pay the entwine cost. Entwine cost. That's insane.
Card's very versatile, and the fact that it's
What?
a main deck way to just, oh, I'm
Nuke the
gonna go
yard.
do this. I'm gonna flashback this Dredge return. Okay, cool. I'll exile your graveyard.
It's got a main deck fractured identity as well. Cube All Star and LSV swears by this card. Fractured Identity. 3 blue and a white. Exile target non-land permanent. Each player other than its controllers creates a token that's a copy of it. Card is a Cube All Star.
Yeah. So we're gonna recast the Hogak here again.
Of
So
course, I mean, what
we've
you gonna
dealt
do?
15 cards to this Hogak, and it hasn't even attacked yet.
I mean, this is what you have to do when you play against Hogak decks. Is just like keep it off the board, or against if you're against Hogak, you just like pray to God you don't die. The same turn it comes out, assuming they
Yeah.
don't have an altar, and just keep it off the board, force them to tax their yard, and then just try to get in for damage where you can. I mean, that Uro is still going to be a very, very chunky lad and still do all the work of a house, and do your taxes as well.
So he's therapying himself.
Oh, get the dredgers out of the hand. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yep. Yeah. Narcomoeba was flashback to Cabal therapy, which is why it's dead.
Yeah, and also why it has an untapped zombie.
Yep.
Zombie.
Also combos with Phage the Untouchable. That's a very good point.
Yes. Yes. Okay. Bounty challenge. Whoever builds a Phage the Untouchable deck and wins a match with it, you get a crisp high five, is what I used to bribe my students with.
Challenge
So
accepted. Challenge
challenge
accepted.
accepted.
Yes.
Uh,
Absolutely.
Here are your hints. Torpor Orb works with it for keep you from dying, as well as Tocatli Honor Guard.
Yep.
I had a roommate that loved playing with Phage and Commander.
I play Phage in one of my commander decks. It's so fun.
Stifle, Hushwing Griff. Oof, oof. Get it. Oh, the Caracas off of the attack trigger. Woo! Oh, oh,
What
that
a
was plus. Oh,
phenomenal
dirty.
get.
That was
What
dirty. Oh,
That's fantastic. Oh my goodness.
it's just like doink.
Yeah, apparently Champagne saying that was a good top deck. You don't say.
Yeah, that was pretty great. Yep, one Caracas at the deck.
Oh, and we're playing a 5-color Bring the Light here. Oh goodness. So I'm assuming this is gonna go get Niv Mizzet for board.
No.
No. Oh yeah, Kaya's Guile. Yes. Never
Kaya's
mind.
Guile.
And he's paying the entwine cost. Oh gosh.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's it. That's GG's. That's that's NivFit stealing game one. That
Yeah.
that's NivFit just slamming game one.
Oof.
Oh,
Oof.
that was brutal. Oh wow. Yeah. So Uro is still a really good card in Legacy if you haven't realized that.
Yeah.
It is now it's getting the Oko treatment. It's where
Yeah.
they're like, oh, this card is really busted, but we don't want to like ban it out of everything and give it like the attack skin probe treatment. So we'll leave it in Legacy for a year, see if it destroys the format, and then after that they'll be like, okay, no, it's good or it's banned.
Yeah. And yeah, you see Daniel just scoop it right up after that Kaya's
Yeah,
Guile exiling the whole graveyard.
yeah,
Because after all,
that's
as well, Daniel at the end of that turn, or at the end of his last turn, actually Cabal therapied himself, putting all of his Golgari Grave Trolls in the graveyard.
oh brutal. Yeah, that
Yeah,
was that. Ow, oof. Okay, so importantly here we do have some sideboarding. So we for Daniel TCG we got 2 Chalice of the Void, 1 Lotus Petal, 1 Chain of Vapor, 4 Nature's Claims, 2 Lane of Sanctity, 4 Leyline of the Void, and 1 Ox of Agonis, which I love this card. also just because that art is dope.
Yes. I actually like Ox of Agonist in this matchup, largely because of how fast it is.
Yeah,
Um, then again, not knowing exactly because Champagne could have anything, absolutely anything in the sideboard.
yeah. So I will give you a little bit of insight. Chalice the Void it is pretty dope against NivFit. It can get there. So if you
Yeah,
slam a chalice on one, that feels real bad. And cutting off the ability to sacrifice and stuff like that, like really it feels bad.
yeah, for
So, but I really like Ox. I think Ox is so fast; it gives you so much more late game. But you're playing into their graveyard hate. That being said, Nature's Claim is always just a solid card or to bring in that I don't hate as well.
yeah.
But I don't think Chalice of the Void is for this matchup.
No, and that's just it too. Is that I think given the configuration of Champagne's deck, I think you'd want Chalice on two over Chalice on one anyway.
Yeah, exactly. So that brings us to Champagne sideboard. We got 3 Pyroblasts, 2 Swords of Plowshares, 3 Force Negation, 1 Cloth is God of Destiny, one of my favorite cards in existence, Pernicious Deed, 1 Toxic Deluge, 1 Unmoored Ego, and 3 Leyline of the Void. What do you like here?
Leyline of the Void is an absolute slam dunk. Absolute
Yeah.
slam dunk. Um, other than that, um, I actually I actually almost don't mind the force negations. I think it's super narrow, but at the same time, if you can hit a oh, what's the card? Breakthrough. If you can hit breakthrough with it, I think it's not bad. But
Yeah.
outside of that, I'm not super high on the card, so maybe not.
So I'll give you the secret Nick Vitek. You cut Cabal Therapy in the matchup. You cut like at least three Cabal Therapy. It's one of those things that it's like really bad because their hand is gonna be empty and it's just essentially being used for sacrificing at that point. But yeah, 3 Ley of the Void, I totally agree. I do like the one Toxic Deluge as well, sweep up away a board of zombies. And I love the one Pernicious Deed because you can put it, you just put it on the board and it just sits there and waits till you can pop it either for 0 or X amount or less.
Yeah,
Because I mean, Deed is a slam dunk in this matchup. I love it. I've used it all the time. It's great. It does get Dredge, and then the one Cloth is a Destiny because it just incrementally reducing the graveyard can still be very effective against it. Because as we saw, they're going to nuke their graveyard pretty hard a couple times with Hogak. If you're able to deal with Hogak once or twice, once along with any sort of incremental advantage with Clothis, I really just like that.
yeah, I agree.
Yeah, and honestly, 3 mana is where you wanna be for your threats in NivFit. The reason why you do that is because you can always get at least, you know, 3 to 4 mana as well as holding up, Cabal Therapy, stuff like that. So Colossus fits in great there, Pernicious Seed fits in great, Toxic Deluge is great. Unmoored Ego, I love that tech. I have been one of the biggest fans of Unmoored Ego for the longest time because of the fact that it's great in the combo matchup. One of the best things to do against a depths player is a more ego named depths. Just look at their face. They're just like, you could do that.
Yeah, the fact that you can like, and that's the other thing too is you can actually hit basic lands with it. If you have a blood moon out, you can just be like, "Hey, forest, get out of
Yep.
there."
Yep. It's a great effect. I really love it. But it's one of those things that I like that incremental just like hate on the graveyard as well as the 3 Ley lines to just say, hey, fuck your plan.
Yeah, yeah, that makes sense. So it looks like Champagne's on a mulligan here. Daniel will be on the play for game two.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me. When you got 3 Ley line in the void, you gotta just mull for it.
Oh,
Yep.
and we did get a ley line. So
Yep.
that means Daniel's going to be on the slow start unless he's got a nature's claim right now.
Yep. Nope.
Ooh,
That's a
okay.
careful study.
Yep.
So this
The
is one of those
sculpting will
things
begin.
that I think Daniel was either counting on the careful study to draw out or was just hoping to go faster.
Yeah.
Oof.
I
Yeah.
actually don't mind those discards. Those cards are so far away from ever being relevant.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yeah, but it's one of those things that we'll see. Hey, okay, so Champagne did keep it in Cabal Therapy.
Yeah.
So this is one thing I do like about Leyline with Cabal Therapy is the fact that oh
Oh, he actually hit the nature's claim. Oh my goodness.
that
I'm
was a
surprised.
good blind name.
That's very good. I'm surprised Daniel didn't fire it off then.
So it was got off the careful study.
Oh, that's why. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. Though that being said, yeah, that was a great blind name. Honestly,
Fantastic.
yeah, hitting that piece of hate super important. So this is why I'm just gonna say Cabal Therapy is one of the best cards in Magic because of the fact that you can just do these kinds of effects where you have basically you can completely disrupt the game plan by knowing a deck.
Yeah.
And if you just have a little bit of format knowledge, you can just completely tear apart game plans.
Yeah. And we're just going right into Earl right now. Oh man,
Yeah.
Champagne's he's got the train going and he's got no brakes.
Yep. Unfortunately, one of the cards I don't see in this deck, which is unfortunate, which I'm going to be playing back again with when I build NivFit again, is Village Rights. I love Village Rights in Legacy.
I know you love village rights.
Oh my god, that card it does everything that I want to do in Magic, in a one mana instant. Like how great is that?
Banned village rights for not being good enough. Ooh,
I mean, yeah,
throwing shade.
yeah, oh yeah, 100%. I have never once said that I play good decks. I have never once said that. It is just everything I want to do. Oh,
Yeah,
and honestly, you can just do so much stuff with it. And one of my favorite things to do is just Uro with the ETB trigger, just sack on the stack, just sack the village rights, just three
yeah.
cards. Feels good.
Ooh, it looked like Champagne was going to try and drown in the lock, and then he remembered that there's no cards in Daniel's graveyard.
Yeah, Drown in the Lock is a card that you cut when you bring in Leyline of the Void, and I am very. I mean, it's one of those things. That card literally does nothing. It is a dead draw now.
Yeah,
Unbanned
unless
Skull
this,
Tap.
ley line gets answered, yeah, drown in the lock is just completely dead.
Yep, nope. That's a card that should have come out as well as the card guy. Well, I think I would have kept in Akaya's Guile so that like okay, it's not like the worst thing. You give him like a turn, and you nuclear yard.
I would
But
absolutely never ever cut Kaya's Guile in this matchup because I would want to have those three ley lines, and in case I didn't get one, I'd want to have the backup.
yeah, but then you also have things like Fractured Identity. You can definitely cut. You're no 5 mana. Like at that point, you're just winning the game.
Yeah, I guess. So we're gonna see again. This is a four color bring to light. So we are missing. Oh no, this is only three. Isn't that only three colors?
Black, blue, green.
Blue.
Is there? Nope. That's. Hold on. But let me read. I always forget what the fuck Bring to Light does. I don't play Modern. For a creature, instant or sorcery card with current cost less than or equal to the number of colors spent.
Yeah, less than or equal to. So because he only spent three colors, he can't get the
Yeah,
he not
hold
get
on.
that card. Yeah, we're rewinding already. So he's getting baleful strix here.
Yep. I, I. This is why I didn't think that card would see play in Legacy. I
Well,
mean,
I think the card's really good if you have the colors of mana to use it.
yeah, like I could definitely agree with that.
Yeah. I actually do like in the event of that part not working, just grabbing the baleful strix here.
Yeah, but you know what's wonderful about this is the fact that this is essentially a 5 color deck, and it is forced to play. Which, by the way, NivFit prides itself on playing a fuck ton of basics: one forest, one island, one mountain, one plains, and one swamp. So five basics because it
Yeah.
has the ability to fetch those out.
Yeah. Which
Like
actually Champagne got all five of them last
last
game
game,
with
yeah.
Veteran Explorers.
Yeah, exactly. It's a house if you support the mana, and like I that's why I'm sure it's a really good card in Pioneer.
Yeah,
There's a few levels before we get to Legacy on that one.
yeah. So I think actually, oh no, it's Daniel's at 11 because of the Painlands. Oh my goodness.
Oh wow. Oh wow. That's wild.
Yeah, we're just gonna get Veteran Explorer pass.
Yeah. Well, and this is the thing. You are giving Dredge too much time. You have to when you're playing against Dredge players, you always have to put up at least a significant clock as well, because having a piece of hate is only as effective until they find the answer. I mean, if you're a forceful deck, that's a little bit different. You have more time because it forces them to like first get rid of your force before being able to get rid of your piece of hate. But man, it's like you can't give him this much time.
Yeah,
You gotta be swinging with some haymakers here.
yeah, I agree. The other thing too, though, is that this Veteran Explorer basically is just a brick wall for the Golgari Thug.
Yeah, I will agree with that.
So we're actually going
Uh,
to flashback the Cabal Therapy right now.
yeah, and this is completely in the blind.
Yeah.
Oh, is he targeting himself? Oh,
Champagne's targeting himself. Yeah.
oh wow. Oh,
Oof.
you're giving him a lot of information for a deck that's playing Cabal Therapy. You're giving him so much information.
Interesting.
Well, I mean, I understand because you're trying to fill the yard for Uro, but like that's so much information. That's a
That
single
hand is brutal though. Three
no,
forces, a Kaya's Guile, and the
a
Vindicate.
single Cabal Therapy disrupts that entire hand.
Even then.
You cast Cabal Therapy, you name Force of Will. Force Negation can't be cast anymore because of the fact that there's no more blue card to pitch,
Well,
and
you
the
need to
Kai,
pay the mana for it, but
and then you can blast it, blast the what's it called with a removal spell. The whole yeah, I get that you pay the mana for it, but like you're gonna hold the 3 mana for the rest of the game.
well, I don't know. I'm assuming Champagne's got a plan for this, so
I just don't like giving him information to a Cabal Therapy deck. I really don't like giving that information.
I can see that for sure. So we're gonna see an end step entwined Kaya's Guile here. Which I actually like this because it gives you an additional creature and it causes them to sacrifice a creature.
And get rid of a potential dredger
Yeah, and you also gain life as well, which is pretty good. Plus, it just adds the fourth card Uro needs as well. So,
uh 1 2 3 Uro needs 5.
oh, 5 cards to exile. Okay.
Yeah, Uro needs 5. Yeah, like I don't know, I still like Daniel has a much more live draws here with a for Cabal Therapy.
Yeah. So we're just gonna play another LED, so is that way we don't discard the hand size?
I think so. It's definitely to avoid discarding to hand size.
Yeah, and we're just
But
playing the draw go game.
yeah, this is my point. Like I would have much rather Cabal Therapy Daniel
Yeah,
just get the information.
yeah. So Daniel will go up
Ooh,
to 12 here.
I know both players are drawing very live for something. Champagne is drawing live for a fatty, while Daniel's drawing
Ooh,
live. If I'm Cabal Therapying right now, I'm Cabal Therapying name Cabal Therapy. There we go.
name's Golgari Grave Troll. And then this is gonna be a flashback Cabal Therapy, I'd imagine?
I would 100% try to remove that Cabal Therapy from hand because that Cabal Therapy can disrupt the entire game plan that Champagne is trying to have.
Yeah,
Because what Daniels waiting to do all in one turn was Cabal Therapy. Hey, sacrifice, re-get it. Yeah, exactly. You hit that Cabal Therapy,
yeah,
hey, and then blow up your her ley line, and then just go off from there.
yeah,
Like I was saying, it's coming to see who draws that one card first.
yeah. So it looks like we're just gonna pitch the whole yard here. Yeah.
Yeah, I think the entire yard.
And
See, now
draw looks
it's
like puts Tropical Island into play. Okay.
yeah. Well, that's the thing is like everybody plays with different Tyler's well. So everybody plays with different setups, and it's one of those things that not everybody has the ability to get
Yeah.
a webcam and stuff like that. So
Also of note too, I am actually considering Daniel TCG's using literally the laptop built-in webcam. I am thoroughly impressed. The setup looks as good as it. Very good.
yeah, yeah, exactly. So Uro's gonna get in and do what Uro does right.
Yeah. Just crunch for 6, gain a bunch of life, and draw a card and file everyone's taxes.
Yeah, yeah, it literally does everything. Hey, it's just gonna it's gonna gain back some life. It's gonna just eat away at life total. It's gain cards, like everything. Like honestly, like I'm very
Yeah,
yeah.
so he's just gonna sack the 2 LEDs, discarding the hand and concede, it looks like? I'm not sure.
Yeah, I think he's
Yeah,
saying GG's because yeah, honestly, it's one of those things. It's a beating. Like once you have that solid graveyard hate and just get enough disruption. Honestly, great to see it. So honestly, NivFit taking that is awesome to see.
yeah, that
I'm
was a
happy to
super spicy deck from Champagne for sure.
it's super spicy, dude, like honestly.
Yeah.
Hey, so we do have a second round coming up here real soon. So stick around and we'll get that right back for everybody in just a second.
Yep, we will be right back for